Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, How to Crochet with Beads. So what you need, they show, is this crochet like cotton thread kind of stuff, and you can get it in spools like this. I got this actually from Hobby Lobby years and years back, but that's what you'll need. And then you also need beads of choice. I thought it would be kind of fun to go off the same kind of color hue. I got this tube from JoAnn's and it's teal mix, so I thought that might be kind of fun. These are 6/0s, just for that reference. And then also I would be trying this with the 4 through 3.5 millimeter crochet hook. I decided I would try it with this, and this is the Boy brand. I don't know if that really matters to you, but that's what I'm going to be using. So you will want a needle. This is not a beading needle, this is a sewing needle, because I don't know if I could have gotten this crochet cotton through a beading needle, so I did just use a regular sewing needle for that. Just start threading on a ton of beads, which is fun. And something I do know about crocheting with beads is that you do need however many beads you want to be already loaded onto your thread already, because if the beads aren't loaded on there, there's no way of getting more beads on. So I do know that much. So I'm kind of going in a pattern. I don't know if that really matters, but in this mix there's see-through beads, there's like metallic greenish bead, and then there's silver lined. So see-through, metallic, silver lined, see-through, metallic, silver lined. So now we need a see-through, metallic, silver lined, see-through, metallic, silver lined, see-through, metallic, silver lined, see-through. It is crucial that your beads can fit over your needle. Metallic, silver lined. You can obviously use any beads of choice that you want. I thought it would just be fun to do this mix. I have done other projects using these beads and this thread, and I just thought they went together so well that I thought this would be a pretty look. Bracelet is what I'll be doing today. I don't at this point really know how I'm gonna finish it off. If it's a bracelet, I don't really know how I would finish that off, but we will come up with something, and then I'll try sharing that with you. So I'm just going to load a few more beads on. So I have a feeling it's better to have more beads than less beads, just because I do know there's no way of putting more on later if you do need more. And you don't want to cut your thread, when doing crocheting with beads. You don't cut the end, you keep it on the spool. So let's just load up a few more, and then I'll just start showing you how to do this. So far I have that many on there. Looks like a good amount. I'm just going to go with that much and move on now. I'll move my beads out of the way. Quite a bit of them. Okay, so now that you have it all threaded on, you can remove the needle from your work. Now, I know how to crochet, so that's going to help me probably, but what you need to do is make a pretzel knot. So if you don't know how to make a pretzel knot, you have the thread in your hand, loop it around, have it coming out of this hand, and then loop it so that it meets there, and kind of it just literally made a loop. And then with that as a loop, bring the thread behind that you just looped around. You can see that it's the loop and then the thread is going behind. Keeping it like that, stick your crochet hook through and catch the thread that was going behind, and then pull tight the two threads and you'll have a loop. You are holding the yarn coming out taut, and then you take your crochet hook and you move it, wrap it so that you catch the crochet cotton, and then you pull that through your hole. So you wrap the thread around your needle and pull it through. Wrap your thread around the needle and pull it through. And that is the basic chain stitch. And you can just continue doing that. So let's say you just started, you're holding it there, you wrap your crochet hook so that the yarn goes over it, and you go like that. Okay, so I'm going to make the simple pretzel knot. And now I'm going to do, I would say about, I want to do about 3 chains. And then I'm going to bring my beads down a little bit. But now I'm just going to pull one bead up there, and then holding it there as if it's not even there, you're just going to crochet. And then it just holds there. And then I feel like I want to do 1 stitch. Maybe 2 stitches again, and then I would just drop down the next bead and crochet like that bead wasn't even there. And I think that the crochet hook should be smaller because when I do a stitch it's very loose and I kind of have to pull it tight, so that's what makes me think that the crochet hook should be a little bit smaller. So this is actually a really easy technique, and I think you guys could have a lot of fun doing this, and you could make very long necklaces. So that's how the beads are just working in. So I've done 2, and now I'm just going to drop down a bead. Come on. And then the bead is coming down from this thread. You catch that thread and go through that hole, and you just made your stitch. Okay, so it's finished now. I did decide that I'm going to make this into a bracelet, a wrap bracelet, which looks so cute with these beads. So what I decided to do was, it was a little bit too, so definitely think ahead with how many beads to put on if you do this, but I did need to chain out just a little bit of space, which I do think looks okay since that's on the back. So now you're in the middle of the stitch, and I did trim my thread. So at this point, how do I finish off? Well, you pull it through almost like you're making a stitch, but you just pull all that thread through that loop. So at this point, I would pull that. Now you could knot this, you could glue this, you could do anything you want. I think I'll knot it once just for security. And I would pull the thread through. There we go. And then I would make it so that the knot was like right on top to right in front of our last stitch, and then I'd pull it tight, and then if it shifts a little, like let's say it did like that, I would do a second knot and fill in that little bit of space. And then what I almost would say we should do at this point is work the threads back through the project. Okay, there we go. Let me pull it tight. There you go. So now at this point you can see I have a bit of chain. I'm not going to weave the threads back in yet. I'm going to quickly show you what you can do to finish off your bracelet. What you'll want is a closure and then some jump rings. I'm going to be using that lobster clasp and then 3 jump rings. So I'm going to open up a jump ring. So I opened it up a little bit, and now I'm going to use my needle again to poke through to get that stitch opened, which that stitch is actually really big, so I can just slip this right in there. Why is that stitch so big? I think that is because we haven't tied our knot on that side yet. So we'll do that next. Let's see if we can get this shut. So as you can see, the bracelet has the jump ring on this side now, and then it also has it on the other side. So now at this point, what you'd want to do is make sure that your jump rings are completely shut and sealed, and if you wanted to, you could even put some glue on the area where your jump rings should go together, just because we're working with yarn and we don't want like a thin fiber to slip through. But if you feel safe, go ahead and just start putting on the closure and other jump rings now. So at this point, I'll pick up another jump ring and I'll add this onto this side. This jump ring we already had, and I'll close that up like so, and then we have a second jump ring on there, and then I know we just sealed this one up, but we'll open this one up a little bit and add on our closure. Okay, and now we should be able to open that and clip it to our jump ring. Now you have a closure on the end. Now I am going to take this and knot this end also, because we didn't do that yet. And I just would like to do that because that just seems more secure. To make sure that my knot goes all the way up to this area, I'm going to take my needle and slip it in there and use my needle to push it up right up against the area that I want it to go, and then I'll slip this needle out, make sure that the knot stays there nice and stiff. Looks good. So now at this point, what would I do? I would either trim off these ends and add a little bit of glue there, or I would try tucking this thread back into the weave. Okay, Okay, so I did decide to tuck in my threads, and then I am going to be adding a dab of glue on the ends of both of them by the jump rings. And this could definitely be either a choker, or it could also be a wrap bracelet. So that's so fun that you can have two designs out of one. I actually love that the beads sort of match the cording. I think that gives it a really pretty look. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.